I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, welcome to the Thom Abraham Show. This is Chad Gwathney. We're having some technical difficulties, having some connection issues. Give us another minute, and we will be back in just a second. Thanks.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust, like Whirlpool, Samsung, and LG, in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of our everyday financing offers on top items, from refrigerators to laundry pairs. And there's more. Get your new appliances delivered or installed quickly at your convenience. Because Lowe's knows appliances, Lowe's knows home improvement. Subject to credit approval.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect partly sunny sky. High temperatures going to be topping out in the upper 40s for the afternoon. Heading into your Monday night, we'll see a mostly clear sky. Low temperatures falling back below freezing. It looks like we'll bottom out in the upper 20s to lower 30s for some of us. Looking ahead into your Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine. High temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 50s for the afternoon. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
The End Zone Sports Bar has done it again. This time, they're bringing their jumbo wings, handcrafted burgers, Tex-Mex, and New York-style pizza to the Midtown District with their new location on McMurtry Drive Northwest opposite the Target Plaza. Tuesdays at the End Zone means half-price burgers, and Wednesday is $1 jumbo wings all day long. The End Zone also features Sunday ticket for all your NFL viewing. The newest End Zone Sports Bar in the Midtown District on McMurtry near the Target Plaza. Get in the End Zone.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
Side, as I promised you, we would be coming to you Monday and Tuesday poolside in Southwest Florida, and then I will switch to my Bassmaster duties the rest of the week over at Lake Okeechobee. For those of you watching on WZZN TV, what you're seeing is I am poolside here. There's no doubt about it. And I have a beautiful big flat screen TV right directly in front of me, and our camera is set up here. I actually have a 97.7 ESPN The Zone backdrop, but it's a little bit breezy, and I'll be quite honest with you, it's 58 degrees. So if you're like, dude, why are you wearing a hoodie if you're poolside in Southwest Florida? Because it's 58 degrees. Now, it looks beautiful. They're in a cloud in the sky, but it's cold here in Southwest Florida. So there you go. It came a long way to have 10 degrees more temperature than what you got right there. All right, it is a Reaction Monday in the Doghouse. We certainly have plenty to react to. And look, I'm seeing a ton of, quote, you can't blame Dan Campbell for the Lions' loss. And, quote, you can't blame Lamar Jackson for the Ravens' loss stuff out there. And although I get it, I understand that those teams are not in this position without those guys during the season. But in the end, Dan Campbell made some bad decisions in the biggest moments. And I don't care how many yards Lamar Jackson had, in crunch time, he failed. He was getting strip sacked, or he threw an interception in the end zone. He did not lead his team to victory like Patrick Mahomes led his team to victory. Now, it's not lost on me that in both cases, the better head coach won. John Harbaugh is very good. He's not a Hall of Fame coach. We speculated about whether he was a Hall of Fame coach last week. John Harbaugh's not a Hall of Fame coach. He's just not. Not yet. This was the first time in 11 years that they were in a championship game. And it was the first time in the history of the Baltimore Ravens that they hosted a championship game. And he failed. Andy Reid is one of the best ever. Top 10 for sure. Approaching top 5. And we can have that discussion. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe today. But Andy Reid gets the win there. And Andy Reid had the better quarterback. And Dan Campbell has done a terrific job this season and with the Lions. But Kyle Shanahan is just more polished. And in this case, he's a better coach. And he made the necessary adjustments to come back from the biggest halftime deficit in championship game history to get that win. And you know what? He's going to get out-coached in the Super Bowl as well. I mean, can the 49ers win? Sure, they can win that game. But why they are favored in the game is beyond me. And I'll be honest with you. I told you that if it was 49ers Chiefs, they were going to be a 2.5-point favorite. They opened the 49ers as a 2-point favorite, and it was quickly bet down to 1 point. And I'm telling you, before the week is out, not before the Super Bowl, but before the week is out, I think the Chiefs will be favored in the game. I believe that to be, I think it's going to flip before the week is out. Now, the irony is that both of these teams had soft spots in the middle of their season. The 49ers were 5-0, and then they lost 3 in a row to Cleveland, Minnesota, and Cincinnati, and only the Browns were a playoff team in that mix. The Chiefs were 7-2, and then lost 4 of their next 6, and ended up a 3 seed. And then they said, hold my beer. And they beat the Dolphins at home, and went to Buffalo and won, and went to Baltimore and won. Now, as for the games themselves, there's plenty to get into the games. Plus, we got college hoop from over the weekend, more coaching carousel moves, whatever else you want to get into. Now, this first hour of the show is wide open for your reaction and for me to get connected, apparently. Now, I already burned up some of your time, but go ahead and get in and vent if you like. In hour number 2, we are going to head out to Kansas City and visit with Chief Sideline reporter from 61 Sports out there, Josh Klingler. Lines are open at 256-576-4977. Text window is 732-9TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469, which is a great way to communicate with us. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We are on the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, where you can watch the show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at WZZN TV. Hello, those of you watching on WZZN TV. I don't know if I knocked my... I'm not looking at the WZZN. Oh, okay, I'm in the middle. I didn't know if I knocked my camera all out of whack when we were trying to get hooked up or not. Grizzly, give me the thumbs up if we're good to go on WZZN TV as well. That's good. You hear that breeze in the background, a little bit blowing around a bit in the background there. And make sure you get our apps, all right? You want to have the app. Get the app. Just go to 977ESPN.com and get links to all of that stuff. Look, I get that Dan Campbell has been aggressive all season long. But with 7:30 to go in the game, down 3, you tie that game. You can't turn the ball over there and let the Chiefs go down and make it a 2-score game, which is what they did, game over. You were not stopping them. So your only chance was to stay in a back-and-forth deal, maintain a 1-score deal. You tie the game up. I know he's sticking by his decision, but he has to learn from that. And I think we have some audio from him that we'll get to a little bit later on. And let me add this. Last week, I told you about the 91 Lions team that made the championship game, and then the next season they were 5-11. This team is not going to be 5-12 next year. They are young. The QB is fine. He's in the middle of his career. And if they can shore up their passing defense just a little bit, They will be better next year. They will be in the mix. Now, the Packers are better too. The Bears might be better. But the Lions will be right there. And as for Lamar, I've been saying it for years. Something is missing. He lacks that clutch gene. He's never won anything except for individual titles, even in college. Never won anything except for individual titles, largely based on cumulative numbers and spectacular off-script plays, like that ball that got batted in the air that he caught for a 13-yard gain. And everybody's, oh, my God, can you believe that play that he made? Yeah, it's great. Wonderful. Even Steve Spagnuolo said something about it. But you know what? In the end, he's getting strip sacked. He's lacking something. He's lacking something. Mahomes beating the blitz in critical moments. Brock Purdy with those 2 or 3 clutch runs when his team needed him most. In the meantime, Lamar's getting strip sacked like a rookie who has no clue about pocket pressure. All right, back there in the house, in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling, doing a great job making sure he could get us on the air, playing with the equipment, doing what he had to do, managing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax, answering the phones, keeping us on the air, getting it done. It's DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a 1-hour television spectacular.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
He may be the smartest person that I've ever met.
Testosterone high today. What's that? Testosterone, whatever the it is. Testosterone.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
I saw you over there. I saw you banging on that thing like crazy. If it isn't one thing, it's another, right?
No, I was actually playing that out a little bit. I had it all set up. We were ready to go with the sound. I was honestly thinking though at first I was like, is he gonna play it? So yeah, no.
I got nothing. I got nothing over here. I mean, I can't play anything.
Something. I thought maybe.
Well, that's why I had you pull all the sound today. Yeah, I had you pull all our sound for the show today because I got nothing.
Well, yeah, whatever you need, I got everything today. I sent everything to you too, so if you need anything for the future
did you?
too,
yeah. I was gonna set I have a backdrop here, all right, and I was gonna set it up, but it seems to me why is Captain Cool calling me during my show? Am I on the air?
Are you Eastern time?
I am on the air. Aren't I on the air? Let me see if I can get him and ask him here. You're on the air with us. Why are you calling me during my show? Am I not on the air?
Oh, you're on the air.
I forget that you're on the air. I thought you were going to like Florida or something.
No, you see, I do a sports talk radio show every day from noon to 2 Central.
I didn't know that.
1 to 3 Eastern time, so I don't understand why you're calling me during my show.
Can these people hear me? Can I put in my picks?
Yeah, you're on the air right now.
Okay. What are you guys talking about right now?
Right now we're talking about why you're calling me while
trying to get on the air.
I'm poolside. Yeah. I'm over here poolside. I'm poolside here at Young Caroline's beautiful chalet.
Nice setup.
So that's what.
Are you showing off any of your techniques on the diving board?
I'm just doing my show here Monday and Tuesday, and then no, I'm not doing the
We
Lindy
need a backflip
off of the
at the
diving
end.
board. I'm not on the diving board doing a Lindy, and then I'm going over to Okeechobee for the rest of the week.
Oh, it sounds like a wonderful time. Just call me back whenever you get a chance.
All right. I'll call you back.
All right.
That bad. But you
Live
forgot
radio.
I had a show.
Yeah, that's the Wes effect.
He forgot I had a show. Yeah, him and Wes and everybody. I mean, they forget I'm. You know who? The only person that doesn't forget I'm on the air is Steve. Usually, Steve and you sometimes. I mean, sometimes you forget. Oh, that's right. We got to do the show.
Well, Steve's on. Steve sometimes will be in the studio messing with stuff though.
But he
Playing
never
sound
forgets that
bites.
I'm on the air. he'll play with things that screw us up a little bit, but he doesn't forget. He knows that I'm on the air. He just doesn't realize that he's screwing us up.
He almost got up here earlier to kind of save us a little bit too. Was asking for his help.
It wasn't, but you know what? In the end, I don't think it was anything going on there.
I know,
even though there was some equipment failure there, there was nothing there. It was more from this end, which is weird because I tested everything this morning, but so I was going to put the backdrop up, but it occurs to me, who's the backdrop for? The backdrop's for the people that are watching on WZZN, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay, so on the WZZN feed. Doesn't it have like the radio stations? It has my name right here underneath there. Right
yeah,
here.
But they can see the pool. I can see the pool in the background.
Says that. Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying I don't need a backdrop because it says 97.7 ESPN The Zone all over this skin.
I got you.
Right.
I'll set you
so
up.
what's the point of putting the backdrop up? It says here's my name right here on the bottom.
Always
I'm
something
trying to point
for the
to
Thom Abraham show.
Yeah, it has my name on. So I don't need no stinking backdrop. I'm gonna break that down. All right. I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to get to the phones. We have our call screen up, so you can jump in. And since we did that little short segment to get things started and everything was kind of jacked up, we'll just go to the phones now. And we'll start about, I'm guessing about 5 or 6 miles the way the crow flies from where I sit right now. It's Paulie in the Cape. We might as well take our first call from Florida since I'm in Florida. Paulie, welcome to the show. How are you?
How you doing, Tom? Welcome back down here home to Southwest Florida, enjoying a little bit of paradise.
Oh yeah, well, it'd be nice if it was maybe 60 degrees. I mean, did somebody leave the air conditioning on or something? I mean, what's going on?
You want me to call the National Guard or something? I mean, come on.
It's miserable. And then my mother says, my mother, she's always got to make the best of it. I come down here, it's raining. Oh, we needed rain. I come down here, it's cold. Oh, this feels so nice. We get to wear a sweater. We get to enjoy some of our winter clothing. Like, get the hell out of here. Yeah. I need heat. I need 80 degrees. I don't need this.
Anyways, I wish they could put the sound bed of my man, Denny Green. We knew who they thought they were. And we let him off the hook.
Yeah.
That sums up that game. Other than, of course, you tie it up. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you got to kick the field goal there.
But, hey, all you all-time Detroit Lions fans that say go for it, well, your boy did it, and he didn't make it. So you got to live with it. All you fans that always talk about, why didn't it go on fourth down? You got to do it. Well, it was machismo time, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
you can do that stuff. You can do that stuff during the season, when you're playing an inferior team or whatnot. You're playing the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco for a trip to the Super Bowl, 7.5 minutes to go in the game. That's where he did the right thing when he kicked the field goal at the end of the first half. He was thinking about going for it, and then it's like, Dan, don't do that. And he did the right thing and took the points and built the 17-point lead. But,
I'm surprised he did it, too. It was like, kick it up.
Yeah.
You can always score again, or if you get lucky with a penalty or something happens and you stop them and you're in the game. But you had to kick the field goal, and then in the other game, all of a sudden, that juggernaut team, the team that had the defense, the team that had everything, and Mr. Excitement, they played like they didn't know how to play football against it. It was like, what the hell? I mean, come on.
The Ravens are 0-24 when trailing by 10 points or more at halftime in the last 10 years. The Ravens are 0-24.
That's what the guys in Vegas were talking about. There's like, look, man, don't get all excited about this team in the playoffs. And they were at home, and next thing you know, I thought he was going to put it on his back when he started running the ball. And like you said, when he caught the ball and he ran for 13, 14 yards, I mean, I was like, God, couldn't have been another 30, 40 yards, and I would have won one of the trifecta bet.
Yeah. Well, you did pick up 3 points in the trifecta, so you made a little move.
Yes, I should be up in the top 10, right? I'll be right in the striking range.
Yeah, you're right. I'd have to take a look at it and see, but you're right there. You're
probably
certainly
not.
I don't know if you're quite there, but you're within striking distance right now. Let's see. What do you got? Paulie K has 7 points. The lead is 13 points. There was no blood at the top. Jay in Athens leads at 13 points. Wolverine Dan has 12. Badulary 12. Yeah, you're getting there.
Well, I think I should have a little more. You need to double check it all. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No, you had 4 points coming in, and you got 3 points because you hit 3 out of 4.
So 7. Okay.
So you got 7 now.
All right.
You're
All
good
I
there.
need to do
All right,
is
man.
like that one guy who came out of nowhere and he picked the exact score of the Super Bowl and beat me for the big prize because he picked the right score. Like, oh my
Exactly.
God, are you kidding me? I had it
Yeah.
in there. It was a lock, and then it comes out of nowhere.
Comes out of nowhere.
So
You always
that's
got to give
gonna be
those guys
me.
a chance to come out of nowhere. All right, man.
That's going to be me. I'm going to take it down on the last one.
Sounds good, Paulie. I appreciate you. Shut the door, will you, please, and cool and warm this place up. Paulie in a cape. Yeah, in the trifecta, one guy scored the touchdown. Grizz, mark this down. One guy scored the touchdown. It was Shane Sean. And he gets fed, and he gets 6 points. And Shane Sean, if you're listening, you get the food of your choice. Okay, so whatever it is that you want, you get the food of your choice. That's for Shane Sean. Good job by him. Let me get Natty Danny in here. I don't know how that went for him. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing fine. No, it's all good, Tom. All good.
Good. I'm good. I'm glad. I was worried about you, so I'm glad that you're all good.
No.
Yeah.
No. You need to give me an update on Philip. That's the one you got to worry about.
Well, I'm concerned because now Philip's in the wind again, and I know I found out what had happened last time, and he was in the hospital, and then he got out, and now I'm concerned again as to where he is because he's not responding to anything, and I'm gonna have to reach out to his cousin.
All right. So here's the deal. If you're listening, Philip, I lost the game less than 24 hours ago. Okay, and I have every right to be upset. I do agree, Tom, in your analogy, but you know what? Listen, Philip, it's all about the ones you love. It's about your family. It's about, if you don't have a family, it's your friends that you love. It's about relationships. It's about the guy above, okay? There's things like that really, really, really anchor me down and don't let me go off the deep end. But sports, it's entertainment for you and I and Tom and everybody else listening. And the kids that play the game or the adults in pro that play the game, it's about them because they're the ones that make the sacrifice for their body. And there's guys in that game yesterday. Amadoni, our linebacker, he had broken ribs, a bad shoulder.
Anzalone, yeah,
Abalone. And then the other wide receiver for that's a stud. He had a bad shoulder. Every time, and when it comes to games like this, Tom, you know as well as I do. Probably half the dang team has got some kind of bump and injury, and they're playing through it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. But I'll say this about Philip. I've known Philip for 10 or 12 years, 13 years. He's never shy. There's no way that, that was a miserable loss that ended the Dallas Cowboys season. That would not stop him from calling. Something else is stopping him from calling. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Philip is not – he's not the kind – he's not the kind of guy that would stop, because of that.
Well, all right. Well, I hope so. I hope so for his sake. I don't want any ill feeling toward people I listen to on the phone. The only one guy is that Roll Tide Willie, that guy. He needs to stop putting a beer in his hand. He's half drunk every time he gets out in the air. He looks like an idiot. Anyway, with that said, I'm pleased with the guys. Look, it's a great season. I made money on it, which is even better. I'm excited about next year. I think free agency, we need to kind of beef up the defense, especially the back end of it. Offensively, we look pretty good. That both lines look good. I'd like to have one more rusher on the defensive line, but that offensive line is sound. I think all offensive players looking really good. Some passes dropped, okay, fine, all right, but some passes were caught to get in this game. So it happens, Tom. Okay, it's realistic. Be realistic here. I'm happy. I got a natty. Everything's good. Tom. This Detroit fan is excited about the future, and when I get back up there, I'll put some K-ish on the Lions and also San Diego. I'm putting money. I'm going to call them San Diego, Tom. I'm like you. I don't like these new names to change the venues. So I'm putting money on the San Diego because I think Harbaugh's going to have magic. You watch. It's going to happen.
Yeah, they could be. The only thing is that I will say about this is that he he's put himself in a situation with a team that has no home field advantage. And I hate it for him that he's going to have 17 road games because that's what he's got. He's got 17 road games. And maybe he can get some kind of Charger fandom started in L.A. because there are more Charger fans in San Diego than there are L.A. L.A. fans, if they're fans of the NFL, are fans of the Rams. And that's the only thing. And I honestly believe this. I've been thinking about this a lot in the last 2 days. I've been thinking about this when Sharon Moore was given his job, at Michigan and so on. And I started thinking, why in God's name would Jim Harbaugh, at 60 years old, why would he leave his alma mater for the NFL where he's won a national championship, could maybe win a couple of more, and now could go into – he had an opportunity to coach the Michigan Wolverines for 20 years and really could even bypass Bo Schembechler or in the history of Wolverine coaches. He could have gone down as the greatest coach in the history of the Wolverines because he knew that he was about to get hammered. The NCAA was not going to let him coach next year, I think. I think that was it.
Well,
because the San Diego job is not a better – or the Chargers job, the LA Chargers job, is not a better job than the Michigan job. He's going to make $10 million a year at Michigan. Why would he go to the NFL? Makes no sense.
Well, real quickly, I think the one thing I'll say that maybe, and on top of other things, we don't know because it's his personal life, and I don't know his personal life, but I do know that unlike where you're at right now, and especially where I'm at, it's a lot warmer there, Tom, because we're both freezing our keisters off.
Yeah, well.
All right, man. Peace out. Go Lions, go Wings, go Michigan Wolverines. Talk to you later.
He's rhyming now. Dude is
got a lot of time
now.
on his hands.
I guess
walking around the neighborhood. Showing up to the studio.
He didn't even know that he was going to rhyme. Ray Dog hit the text window. Please, for the love of God, tell me that wasn't staged. That crap was. You've only fed that kid his whole life. Oh, no, it wasn't staged. Ray Dog.
No,
that call from.
You can't make
Captain
that up.
Cool. That was not staged. Captain Cool just got on the phone and was calling his old man for something, and now I'm gonna have to call him back, after the show and find out what the heck he needed. That was not a staged call. I appreciate it. John Bedford is tuning in from Dallas, Georgia. He is watching on the YouTube. He says he's been Roll Tide his whole life. Brandon is his good friend, and he's been telling me I got to listen to this show, so here I am. This is a backyard show, ? You drink liquor on this show? No, John, this is unusual. Okay, this is not normally a backyard show. Okay, this is unusual. I am in Florida for my duties.
Show.
Yes, this is normally a sports show. I'm in Florida for my duties with Bassmaster Radio and Bass. The first open event of the year, the St. Croix Bassmaster Open at Lake Okeechobee, is this weekend. I am sponsored by Bass, and what I do is I go over there and I meet with the pros and I do some interviews, and then I fish in the tournament, and then I write about fishing in the tournament, and then I do a feature on the radio show about fishing in the tournament, and they let me keep whatever I win. So I'm going to win money, and they let me keep whatever I win. So we'll see how.
He loves fishing.
And I do love fishing. I do love fishing. So that's what's going on. Okay, that's what's going on. And I'll be rooming with my good friend Brian Hammaker from North Alabama Mortgage, who's also fishing in the tournament. He's an avid fisherman as well, and he's got a condominium right there on the lake at Okeechobee. And I'll be going over there on Tuesday after the show. I'll head over to Okeechobee, and then on Wednesday is a practice day. I'm going to fish with Brandon Lester, Elite Series Pro from Fayetteville, Tennessee. I'm going to jump in a boat with him. We're going to go fish a little bit, check out things on Okeechobee. And then on Thursday and Friday, I'll be competing in the tournament and covering it. So that's why I am down here. So no John Bedford from Dallas, Georgia. This is an unusual scenario. And my daughter happens to live down here, and this is their house. And, they're about an hour and a half from the lake, hour and 15 minutes from the lake. So I stay at her place for a couple of days when I'm down here. So that's why that's her pool that is behind me there. All right, we'll get a break in here. When we come back, speaking of Wolverine Dan, you're going to love this. He sent me a text right after the game. This is like reading rap. Big Dog reads Wolverine dance text next. You'll love it. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, Eagle can insulate your home and help you save money with fiberglass, spray foam, and cellulose insulation, and can help you decide what's best for your project. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
It's official. 47 years in a row, Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck in America. Come drive one, and you'll see why. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to kickstart the new year in a brand-new F-150. Choose from nearly 200 F-150s, and we think you'll find just the right one. Right now, we have financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150s, and lease payments as low as $389 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $6,282 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends January 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have nearly 50 2023 Explorers for you to choose from, too, with financing as low as 0.9% for up to 60 months. Plus, check out our over 40 24 Bronco Sports and a fresh truckload of the full-size Broncos that have just hit the ground. Come on over and let's get the new year rolling. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Yeah, I just felt really good about us converting and getting our momentum and not letting them play long ball. You know, they were bleeding the clock out. That's what they do. And I wanted to get the upper hand back, you know, and it's easy hindsight, and I get it, you know. I get that. But I don't regret those decisions, and that's hard. It's hard because, we didn't come through. It wasn't able to work out, but I don't. And I understand the scrutiny I'll get. That's part of the gig, man. But, we just didn't work out.
Dan Campbell talking about the decision that he made. This segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, not only experts in the service of Ford and other makes, but they also use genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts on every Ford service job. They do tire rotations and wheel alignment and brake jobs and oil changes, engine tune-ups and tranny work. It's all done out of the service department at a Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. They've got your Ford and other makes and models covered as well. And don't forget the certified gold pre-owned vehicles and the new inventory. It's all at the corner of Sparkman and Jordan Lane. It's Woody Anderson Ford, the only place I've gone in the Tennessee Valley since 2004. Dan Campbell talking about that, and I didn't want them to play long ball. And I don't understand what he's talking about there, because he said they were having a hard time stopping him. So yeah, you're going to take a chance that you can go down and score. You still have 30 yards to go. Even if you get the first down, you still got a ways to go before you're going to score a touchdown. So you might end up kicking a field goal anyway. The point is that by going for it there and not kicking a field goal to tie the game, you're now down 3, and you gave the team that you just said you can't stop them, you just gave them the ball with opportunity to go down and finish the game, which is what they ended up doing. So it doesn't seem to make sense there. In any event, so I get a text from Wolverine Dan. Natty Dan. I get a text from Natty Dan right after the game. I get a text from him. And I'm going to read it verbatim, Grizz. Because you know how, like, if I read rap, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rihanna
like
was
if I
worse.
read rap, yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But this is what he wrote.
It's a poem. Rap is a poem.
This is what he wrote. Sometimes you connect two-point switch. I thought we should have kicked the field goal too, but I'm at the coach. It is what that's okay. I'm gonna bet. Period. I'm gonna have a next year for sure. Period. Look, I am smart. Defensive backs will be fine. End of text. Sometimes you connect to point switch. I'm trying to think, like, let's say he voice texted this. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what it switched it from. Sometimes you connect to point switch, period. I thought we should have kicked the field goal too, but I'm at the coach. I guess he was saying I'm not the coach. It is what that's okay. I'm going to bet. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to have a next year for sure. I think maybe he was saying I'm going to bet next year, maybe. I'm going to have it next year. Maybe he means he's going to live another year.
It's like he was walking around and he was like trying to voice text you, and it was only picking up like every other third word that he was saying, because he might have been like outside exercising, doing something. Like he was probably talking on the other end of the room.
But not at 9 o'clock last night.
Well, yeah.
Look, I am smart. Defensive backs will be fine.
A couple of cervezas were probably involved.
No, I don't think the defensive backs will be fine.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. Keith, the Michigan fan, is up. Keith, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing all right. That was interesting. When the ball bounced off the guy's helmet face, I knew then we were in trouble. I had to go to another office so I can close the door. There we go. Now, took me about
that was a very Lions thing to happen. And as a Browns fan, I was feeling for you guys because I was thinking of the drive, and the Browns had that game won, and they kicked the ball down to the 2-yard line, and that's where the Broncos took over, and there was only 3 minutes to go in the game, and Cleveland was leading, and there was no way, the way the defense was playing, there was no way, and then they lose in overtime. You had a 17-point lead at the half, and it all evaporates, and I was like, oh, my gosh, of all the teams and all the fan bases, this had to happen to the Lions fan.
My buddy and I in Detroit, we texting back and forth. It's like, take the point. No, he wants to go at it. But, it's just, like Michigan losing to Appalachian State or, they block the field goal and running back, or Michigan State,
Right.
We got the game. All you have to do is punt the ball, and they block it, and game's over. It's like
the guy dropped it. Remember that? The guy dropped the snap. Yeah. It wasn't even a block. The guy dropped the snap. And it was like, what the hell just happened? The perfect snap.
Yeah, and, and that, being a Michigan fan, Detroit Lions, stuff like that happened to us. I just hope I'm alive when we are on the receiving end with the Detroit Lions. Now, Michigan, we're going to be all right there because I'm looking at Sean Moore. He get another defensive coordinator and keep the same scheme that we had, we'll be all right there. We got Orgy's going to start the quarterback, I'm assuming. But I don't know. It's just being a Lions fan. Do you know how they had 35,000 people in the Ford Field Stadium watching the game? And
they paid.
It
wasn't free.
Yeah,
they paid to get in there and watch it. Yeah, $20 a head to go there and watch the game on the big screen.
Yeah, and I told my buddy in Detroit, if I was in Detroit, I would be there. But that first half, the Lions fans, they have never experienced so much joy watching a football game because you're up 17, and then you lose the game. But
well, not only that, the 24 points that the Lions scored in the first half was the most points the Lions had scored in the first half of a playoff game since the 1957 NFL championship game when they beat the Cleveland Browns 59-17 or 59-10, whatever the score was. That was the. I mean, it had been most people's lifetime since they saw a first half of football like that by the Lions, and then they blow it.
Yeah, and then you blow it. But hey, I'm gonna put some money on the Lions. Just like Dan said, he is going to do. I'm also going to do it, and I'm also going to bet on Michigan again. When I go with the better odds, like the Lions winning the Super Bowl, I got 22-1. Well, I couldn't turn that down. I play poker, and like I said, I'm playing with their money anyway because Michigan won the national title.
Right.
So, but the way the odds go, okay, for Michigan, I got 10-1 in July, and then in September, I got 7-1. And, it's like, wow, you have to really bet early to get the best odds. But anyway, we'll be back, and we're going to be all right. Talk to you later.
I'm going to say, thanks for the call, Keith. I'm going to say right now that the Lions will win a Super Bowl before Michigan wins another national championship. I think it's too easy to think that what Sherrone Moore did, you give him the shot, there's no doubt about it. And you just sit there and you say, well, he coached, 6 games. How many games did he coach? Didn't he coach like 6? I think he coached 4 because they had different people coaching. Like Minter had one. The
OC got a game.
Yeah, but remember when he was, and by the way, those of you that don't know, Jesse Minter, the outstanding defensive coordinator of the Michigan Wolverines, went with Jim Harbaugh to Los Angeles. Okay, so he went with Harbaugh to the Chargers. So they got to replace the defensive coordinator too. Quarterback, running back, quorum. They got some work to do there. But as far as what Sherrone Moore did as the quote-unquote head coach, remember, Jim Harbaugh coached all week long. Jim Harbaugh ran all the practices, did all of the game planning. He did all of that stuff all week long. And then Sherrone Moore led him out onto the field and made the key decisions during the game. And so I think one of the games, Didn't he not run the ball in the entire or did not throw a pass in the entire second half? One of the games he didn't throw a pass the entire second half. But he did what he normally did. Jesse Minter called the defense. Sharon Moore called the offense. That was it. They did what they do. So Sharon Moore is definitely in a prove-it mode for sure. All right. Coming up, top of the hour, Josh Klingler of the Chiefs Radio Network is next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Ravens left to think about what might have been in the aftermath of their 17-10 loss to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Presumptive NFL MVP Lamar Jackson and the conference's top-seeded Ravens struggled to move the ball against the defending Super Bowl champs, committed 3 turnovers. After the game, Jackson said he wasn't frustrated at all. He's angry about losing. He is 2-4 in his postseason career, averaging 10.5 points with 4 touchdowns and 8 turnovers in the 4 losses. Kansas City, a 1-point underdog to San Francisco in Super Bowl 58, according to ESPN Bet. 49ers rallied from a 17-point halftime deficit, beat the Lions in the NFC title game. Detroit coach Dan Campbell, addressing the 2 failed attempts on 4th down, said he did not regret his decisions. The Browns hiring former Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey as their new OC.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If your home needs updating or you have some projects that you just haven't gotten to, Eagle can help. They install shower doors, mirrors, shelving, blinds, bath hardware, and lots more. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Valley Equipment Rental has grown by leaps and bounds over the past year and is adding more and more equipment to their already impressive fleet. Valley is a locally owned family equipment rental business serving the entire Tennessee Valley. They concentrate on the local contractors, building repeat business and specializing in long-term rentals for their local contractors. The benefit of long-term rental is that they stay on top of their assets. If something you own goes down in the field, you have to stop and fix it before you can finish the job. With Valley Equipment Rental, they will fix it on site or bring you another machine while that one's being fixed. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and asking for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
It's time you discovered one of Huntsville's culinary gems, Good Company Cafe, the place for breakfast, lunch, brunch, and so much more. Bottomless coffee options, boxed lunch catering, pastries, and wedding and other special event catering. And with Valentine's Day coming, Good Company Cafe can help you impress your special someone with Valentine's brunch. Or you can order a brunch board to go with a bottle of wine for a special personalized picnic. Find out more and order online at goodcompany-cafe.com or stop by and see us at 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
In Tuscaloosa, we live by the blue-collar basketball motto.
Stepping back, deep three, bottom.
Hard work.
2-on-1, driving, stepping through, tough shot, got it to go.
Teamwork.
Play the song for the champions of the Southeastern Conference.
Join us for every game right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show, which originates from Southwest Florida today. So those of you that are watching on WZZN TV, yes, that is a pool behind me. And yes, I am wearing a hoodie because it's 59 degrees here in Southwest Florida. It looks beautiful. The palm trees are swaying and all of that. So when you look at it, and if you want to imagine that it's 80 degrees and I'm sweating, go ahead and do that. I'm just here to tell you that it's breezy and about 60 degrees out there. So it's not as beautiful as it looks, but I guess it beats the alternative. Those of you that are listening in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida know about North Alabama Mortgage, and they have you covered for all your mortgage needs. And as I told you, those mortgage rates are already begun to come down, but your average home equity is an all-time high. So this is a good time to refi and take care of your other high-interest stuff like credit cards or college loans or whatever. Take care of all of that, and when the rates get all the way down to where you think they might be going, then you go ahead and you can refi. I mean, it's that easy to do that. Same thing with the new home purchases, because as the rates go down, the prices are going to go up. So get your best price on your new home now, and then refi when the rates drop. You can learn how to do that with North Alabama Mortgage. Go to northalabamamortgage.com to learn more about that. Josh Klingler is with 61 Sports in Kansas City. He's also a sideline reporter for the Kansas City Chiefs radio network, and he is so kind to join us on the Neighbors broadcast line right now, Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, and he joins us. Josh, welcome to the show. How are you?
We're doing okay. Can't complain in Kansas City. I'm not even jealous of your weather today because there's another Super Bowl on the horizon, so I can't even be mad that you're by the pool.
I hear you. Pull the curtain back a minute. You guys on the radio network, I assume you fly with the team, or do you fly separate from the team? Is it one big charter, or are you guys separate?
Yeah, we're with the team.
What was that flight like? Just take us back. Don't tell any stories that are going to end up on the NFL Network or anything. I'm just saying, what was that flight like coming back with that team, which had completed 2 road wins to make it to their fourth Super Bowl in 6 years?
Yeah, no, the back in the day stories of the team charters are much more exciting than the current version. Those are all pretty tame nowadays. But no, this was a pretty happy bunch because they haven't had a lot of things over the last few years to feel like they were the underdog in. But really, the last 2 weeks they were kind of viewed as the underdog, and finally playing road playoff games under Patrick Mahomes, which is just a weird statistic that they finally got knocked out, but no, they were really, really happy on the way back, and but also saying that the job wasn't done, so they don't want to go to the Super Bowl and just be there. They've done that before, and most of this crew has won last year, and they'd love to go back to back, and so yeah, pretty excited team playing both the last 2 weeks because it was kind of something they hadn't done before during this kind of recent run, which was win away from home.
And it really kind of rejuvenated things with the team. Now, does everybody make the trip back? I mean, does Kelsey stay behind and hang out with his girlfriend?
No.
Does she get to ride the plane back to Kansas? I don't know why she'd want to go to Kansas City, but how does that all work? Does the team stay together?
Oh no, she's made Kansas City her second home now. I mean, she's one of us now. No, she's reportedly back here quite a bit visiting now. So Travis got a new house during the season at some point, and so. No, she's here a lot, but she's really good at kind of sneaking in and out of town, and so they do a good job of protecting her here and kind of away from the big city, so it's not all that big a deal. But no, it is funny because now that we've inherited again maybe a big crop of non-football fans, some of those questions end up being kind of funny because you see like the New York Post and Page 6 writing stories about how both Travis and Taylor were in Los Angeles, but they traveled back separately, and it's like, yeah, because he's got a job. It's not like he's just free to do whatever. So no, every player travels to the game and back from the game, unless there's some type of family emergency or something of that regard. But the entire roster goes there. They spend the night in the hotel the day before. They get a little bit of free time at night, but it's really not much at all. And they all have a really early curfew, and then up the next day and playing football, and then out the day of. So yeah, there's not a lot of interaction other than a little bit, maybe the night before and after the game with kind of friends and family for the players.
Josh Klingler with us from the Chiefs radio network. And so Kelsey, 11 targets, 11 receptions, 116 yards, and another touchdown. I think a 6th touchdown now in championship game play. 10 of these receptions all coming in the first half. So I tweeted earlier today, or whatever they call it, I posted on X earlier today, that since he's kind of intimate with the music industry now, with Taylor Swift, that I would use a line from a great song done by Toby Keith back in the day. He's not as good as he once was, but he's good once as he ever was. And that's kind of the way the season went, right? I mean, didn't it feel like, okay, we're starting to see what 33, 34-year-old Travis Kelce looks like, and then here's the championship game, and here he is having one of his greatest games ever.
Well, it's amazing because they didn't, get the number one seed, so they didn't have the automatic bye, but they did the next best thing, which was they were locked into a playoff position before their final game of the regular season. And I'll tell you what, there was nothing better than getting Travis Kelce a week's worth of rest, because he came out of that mini bye pretty rejuvenated and pretty focused and absolutely turned on some type of playoff switch. He and Mahomes both, got that final game of the regular season off. And I'll tell you what, that unlocked something. I think they played pretty well the game before in Week 17 against Cincinnati. Probably put some things together that they've been lacking a little bit offensively for much of the season. Felt pretty good coming out of that game. Then they had the bye week, and then they played terrific in the postseason. So while everybody wanted the one seed and to be able to play at home throughout the entire playoffs, it worked out pretty well that they actually did get an extra week's rest before the postseason started. I can't put enough into words what that meant for the veterans, especially on this team.
Did you suspect that it could end up like this? Because this team came out of the chute 7-2, and then they lost 4 of their next 6 games, and it just seemed like a different thing. Like there was something missing. The go-to receivers weren't there. Whatever it was, was missing. And then they kind of gathered it up right at the end there. And of course, you're right. They had the manufactured bye of their own, and then they come into the playoffs flying high. But I mean, even you as a supporter of the program, I mean, was there a moment where you're sitting there and you're looking at it and you're saying, this one doesn't look right here. This. If there's a team that's going to get whacked in the first round from the Chiefs, this might be the one.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of questions throughout much of the season, especially offensively. Really, it was only offensively. I think defensively they played great all year long. They've been a top 10 defense, top 5 defense, top 1 or 2 defense in a number of categories, and so the defense played consistent really all season long, and it was kind of waiting to see if the offense would ever click. I think they counted on a lot of people at the beginning of the year and gave a lot of opportunities for guys to make plays, specifically at the wide receiver position, and really not enough took advantage. And I think the secret sauce of what they did at the tail end of the season was they basically whittled it down to the guys they could trust. And now at the end of the season, you really see Travis Kelce, the rookie Rashee Rice at wide receiver, get the bulk of the targets. And then everybody else, you might get 2, 3 thrown your way, and you better make those plays or it's probably not coming back to you. And so, I think the beginning of the season, they were willing along and tried to get, 5, 6 receivers going and spread out the playing time and really tried to give full opportunities to people. And then I think at the end, they just kind of said, all right, playoffs are here. Here's who we can trust. Here's who we can't. And those guys are going to be a big part of the offense. Run the run game through Isaiah Pacheco. And again, the passing game goes through Kelce and Rice. And if someone else like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who made the big play yesterday to kind of ice the game, you're going to have a few one-offs those ways, and you better make those plays because the trust circle just became kind of small. And so I think that was the line that they treaded all season long, was whether or not they were going to ever kind of really figure it out on offense to go with what was a top 10 defense. And to their credit, I think that they wisely tailored their offense to best fit what ended up being their offense at the end of the year rather than the one that they were trying to make during most of the regular season.
Josh Klingler with us from Chiefs Radio Network and 61 Sports in Kansas City, talking about this Chiefs team. And win or lose in the Super Bowl, it would feel like that's still there's some work to do in the offseason, right? I mean, they need to – I like the way Rice played as the season, developed, and certainly in the playoffs he's been dynamic. But it still feels like they need another one of those kind of really go-to type receivers, maybe shore things up a little bit in the tight end thing because you don't know how long Kelce is going to be around. Maybe another offensive lineman. I mean, what do you think the priorities are going into this and into the offseason, regardless of what happens on February 11th?
Yeah, I think the good thing from a Chiefs perspective is that I think they do recognize their flaws and what they maybe overshot this year on offense specifically. And so I think regardless of yeah, they got to the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl, I don't think they're going to say, "See, we got there. We don't need anything else." They're gonna continue to build. So yeah, I would look for another, maybe a free agent wide receiver, maybe another in the draft or both. They do have some work to do on defense. Chris Jones obviously had the mini holdout to start the year this year. They'll have to still make a decision of whether or not they're going to figure out a way to bring him back, and if he wants to play for top end dollars. I don't think that's going to be in Kansas City, despite the fact that he's a real big linchpin to their defense. Defensive back L'Jarius Sneed has had a all-pro type season. Probably a guy that's not gotten enough pub around the NFL. He gave up one touchdown this year, and it came in the playoffs to the Buffalo Bills. He did not give up a touchdown in coverage all season long. He's had a fantastic year and the perfect time for him. He's coming up on a contract year as well. And then, along the offensive line, they got a couple of young guys that they're probably going to have to look at extending here, if not this offseason, next offseason. Joe Thuney, who's injured and may be back for the Super Bowl, has one more year remaining on his contract. The tackles were okay. One's under big-time contract he probably can't do anything with, and the other side may be up for grabs, so still some work to do along the offensive line. But the good news is their GM's pretty savvy in that regard, and they don't ever seem to want to just run it back with the same pieces. They're gonna do some tinkering and some upgrading, and that's, I think, dangerous for the rest of the division specifically, and probably the AFC, because I bet there's some teams in the AFC that saw the Chiefs at one point during the regular season and thought, hey, maybe we can close the door on them. And then obviously with what's transpired this weekend, not so fast.
And then there's Andy Reid, who just continues. I mean, he's fourth all-time now in terms of wins, opportunity to win his third Super Bowl, which would put him in very much rarefied air. And it'll be interesting to see how history ends up treating Andy Reid. He did lose a couple of Super Bowls as well, but taking two different teams to the Super Bowl, but doing so much damage with Patrick Mahomes. And the 641 winning percentage, I mean, immediately off the top of my head, I think of Chuck Noll, and I'm like, where would I put Andy Reid with Chuck Noll, who won 4 Super Bowls and won 4-0 in the Super Bowl? But he only had a 566 winning percentage. And you'd think of these people, some of these people, that he has a better winning percentage than Tom Landry, for goodness sake. I mean, some very, very big names. But one of our listeners asked an interesting question, and you tell me how it plays there around town. Do you think some of the off-the-field family issues that Andy has had in any way, shape, or form would ultimately change the way people view him in terms of his coaching prowess, the issues that he had with his sons and so on?
I don't think so, and I don't even think – I mean, we're going to be so far removed from Philadelphia even. I mean, this is a decade here in Kansas City, before you know it. So even the Philadelphia stuff seems far removed in terms of not punching through and winning a Super Bowl while in Philly. And obviously that's been a race now with Mahomes and company. And so he's, despite the fact that there was a report that said that the Chiefs, I think what they say phrase, Pro Football Talk phrase, the Chiefs were bracing for him to retire. I've heard nothing of that. In fact, I believe there's going to be an extension probably pretty soon, maybe quietly, but I think he wants to go another 5 years. And so he may be getting to the level. I mean, everybody's talking now about Belichick and being able to catch the all-time wins record. Andy Reid's not out of the realm of possibility with a 5 or more year run that he could catch the all-time wins list as well. And that would put him obviously in very rarefied air. And, I think the expectation level, and there doesn't seem to be much thought of a drop-off. If you have Patrick Mahomes, you keep chugging, that they could push him towards that level too. So if he sticks around as long as he wants, he's got kind of a blank check here now that, you stay as long as you want. There's no need to rush into retirement if you want to keep on going. So it's just kind of funny that we've had these veteran coaches kind of go in this cycle, and Andy Reid's name continues to come up. But again, I've heard nothing that says he would want to step away anytime soon. He still loves what he does. I think the football makes him feel younger. I think the continuous tinkering that he can do, especially on the offensive side of the football, keeps him going along. And so I think he'll be here for the foreseeable future.
14 years in Philadelphia, 130 wins. 11 years in Kansas City, 128 wins. So 2 wins away from basically tying how many wins he had in Philadelphia. So, yeah, I mean, it could come to pass that he'll be thought of more as a Kansas City coach even than a Philadelphia coach. And then speaking of coaching, there's Steve Spagnuolo, who is the defensive coordinator, who has been outstanding. Do you have a In Spags I Trust T-shirt? Were you able to scam one of those things?
No, I wasn't able to get one of those. But no, the guys were wearing those around the locker room yesterday, and he has had just a magnificent season because his defense has been the story of this team all season long. Obviously, when you have Travis and Taylor and when you have Patrick Mahomes, the defense tends to be a little bit less spotlight, but they have been the absolute story on the field for this team this year. They played with depth. They played with a little chip on their shoulder, a little anger. This team has held the playoffs in check, 14 points per game, 10 against the Ravens yesterday. He has done an outstanding job, and you think about his legacy as well. I mean, who's the guy that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? It was
twice.
Steve Spagnuolo and the New York Giants defenses. Right. So when you think about like defensive coordinators, maybe even all time, he might be creeping in on that because he's been terrific here in Kansas City. And nothing, and I'm glad that he would be interested in taking on head coaching deals again because I think he is best where he's at, which is getting kind of full control and coordinating a defense because I don't think there's anybody going right now that's any better.
Well, I think if you're a Chiefs fan, it's a perfect scenario because he's 64. You're not hearing his name mentioned a lot, and this league is going so young with coaches. They're hiring all these young coaches, and it's like 64 is a dinosaur. But you know what? He could stay as long as Andy Reid stays and continuing to be a great coordinator and not be so fearful because any coordinator worth his salt, it seems like now, as soon as they have a decent year, if they're under 50 years old or whatever, they're gone. You just expect you're going to lose your coordinators. But Spagnuolo and Reid could be together for the rest of their careers together, and they could exit together. Yeah. And they could win 2 more Super Bowls if they stay 4 more years.
Yeah. That would be ideal. Yeah. I'd be all for that because, whenever those coaching lists come out, I'm like, because he would warrant it if it's strictly a who's been a great coordinator and could then, become a head coach. But, skew younger in that's fine. I think, I'd love for him to say, I just am firmly in the camp, Tom, I don't know about you, that there are some people that are better cut out to be a coordinator or really good at their jobs and then are pushed into another level. And you could say the same probably in our industry, right? Where if you do well, they push you up to, well, what do I want to sit in an office for? I want to be on the radio. You know what I mean? Like I think some are better suited for those types of things. And I think Spagnuolo really is. I mean, players love him. They trust him immensely. And it shows in the way this team has played because it's really hard to single out, 1 or 2 guys on this defense. Heck, their 5th string safety made an interception in the end zone yesterday. I mean, and they've had just guys contributing up and down the roster 2.5 deep on defense. And that's a big credit to Spagnuolo, who's done just a magnificent job with this defense all season.
Yeah, and that's what's really cool is when you can get, when you get a football team to buy into, a 64-year-old guy, an old school coach, and they love him and they'll play for him, which is really neat. Finally, they, last week it was reported that Vegas had them as a 2.5 point underdog to the 49ers. If they got there, it opened at 2. It's quickly already come down to 1. I said in the first hour of the show, I think Kansas City's the favorite by the time the end of the week comes, not by the time we get to the Super Bowl. I think that number could flip or at least be at no worse than a pick 'em by the time we get to the end of the week. I mean, the 49ers have flaws too. I mean, these teams are so similar with the way their seasons played out, even though the 49ers ended up the 1 seed in the NFC. They've got issues and flaws, too. They were lucky to get past Green Bay. They were getting destroyed in the first half last week. And if they think that they can be trailing the Kansas City Chiefs by 17 at the half and come back against that defense and win the game, they got another thing coming. I'm on the way. I'm kind of shocked that the Chiefs aren't a very small favorite in this game.
I'll tell you what, no one around here wants them to be the favorite at this point in time. I mean, they're relishing. There's not going to be a lot of time. I mean, this is, the run that they're on. There's not a lot of times they're underdogs or they're not favored, and so they haven't been all that happy about not being favored the last couple of weeks. So go ahead and make San Francisco the favorite. I think that plays much better for San Francisco. But I'll take coach, quarterback, defense. I think that bodes pretty well. A lot of check marks in the Chiefs box for this one.
No doubt about it. Always a pleasure. Josh Klingler has been our guest. Josh, I appreciate you taking the time to join us a little bit, and enjoy Vegas, man. It's going to be a blast, I'm sure.
Good talking to you again, Tom. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Josh Klingler. It's good stuff. By the way, that Super Bowl will look, unless the Chiefs choose to wear white, which would be a cool move. You know, the I don't know if you knew this, Grizz, several of the Super Bowls that the Patriots wore their white tops and their blue pants in, they were actually the home team and chose to wear white. They preferred their white uniforms over their dark uniforms. They were only put in their dark jerseys when the other team was wearing white and chose to wear white, and then put the Patriots in their dark uniforms. So the Chiefs, being that they've been on this roll on the road, sometimes teams are superstitious that way, and they'll go into the Super Bowl and say, you know what, we'll continue to wear white. But the Chiefs will be the home team in the Super Bowl, so they could be wearing their red, and it will look like the Super Bowl of 2019, where the 49ers wore their white tops. But I think it's going to be great.
It'd be pretty cool if they did wear white, that superstition and everything like that. Mm-hmm. If they weren't both red, it would be awesome if you could just do a color-on-color Super Bowl. I mean, just do your home colors on home colors. We
couldn't do it with this.
We like it in college, but you can't.
You couldn't do it with this group.
No helmets. The only thing that'd be the difference.
I wonder if they'd ever go all red in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? With the Chiefs. I mean, they wear that blood red.
I've seen
at home
that,
every once in a while.
Yeah.
So since they're going to wear red jerseys, or presumably they'll be the home team. So since they'll have the option of wearing red jerseys, I wonder if they'd go red over red. And what a sight that would be. But I think it's going to be not only an aesthetically pleasing Super Bowl in a dome that has natural grass. I love the fact that this is going to be on natural. These are two natural grass teams, and they'll be playing on natural grass in the Super Bowl. I just think it ought to be a great game. This game is going to, if it's not a pick-em, this game's going to be 1-point favorite, one team or the other.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see. And I'll be honest with you. As much as Detroit blew that big lead at the half, I think that the Baltimore Ravens have more questions than the Detroit Lions. I think the Baltimore Ravens have
definitely.
questions.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, you've got an aging wide receiver. They don't know what they have at running back. I mean, they had to get Dalvin Cook, and he was not even existent. So it's just weird what they've got going on.
They got Gus Edwards is a pretty good running back. They led the league,
but they went
rushing.
Justice Hill.
But he was good too. They led the league in rushing, but leading the league in rushing anymore doesn't win you. See, the thing is, this is the problem they have. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll talk about it because there's a situation there that creates a really funny type of deal going forward, and it revolves around Lamar Jackson, the presumptive MVP of the season, and so. It'll be interesting to where they go from there. We'll get a break in. We'll come back with more right after this. Go ahead. We're at open lines the rest of the way if you want to jump in. This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Work injuries happen in Alabama all the time, whether it's an accident at work, getting injured, lifting heavy objects, hurting your hands on a machine, or just performing the same movement over and over until your body breaks down. But when it happens, there's only one law firm to call in Alabama. That's Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Beginning Friday morning, get $50 worth of delicious food from Coralejos Mexican Grill for just $25 with our zone deal at 977ESPN.com. Coupons good for food purchase only.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect partly sunny sky. High temperatures going to be topping out in the upper 40s for the afternoon. Heading into your Monday night, we'll see a mostly clear sky. Low temperatures falling back below freezing. It looks like we'll bottom out in the upper 20s to lower 30s for some of us. Looking ahead into your Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine. High temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 50s for the afternoon. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's 3rd and 9. Game's on the line. You need a great throw. Lo and behold, MVS comes down with just a beautiful catch when it mattered the most.
Put it in Pat Mahomes' hands. Good things happen. And MVS is a man. I'm so proud of that kid because he's gone through the ups and downs of this season. Last 2 weeks, he's put icing on the cake with just great work and big catches.
And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental with their 2 locations. Valley Equipment Rental, North Parkway, South Parkway, to take care of you, whether you're a homeowner or a contractor. They can get it done for you. It's Valley Equipment Rental, locally owned by our friend Ross Roberts. His team standing by to make sure that you get exactly the equipment you need to get it done right. I'm watching the NFL Network, Grizz, here in our makeshift studio poolside, as we broadcast here from Southwest Florida. 2 days, today and tomorrow, and then the boys will take over for the rest of the week as I'll be taking care of my responsibilities over at Lake Okeechobee. And as I'm watching it, there's a commercial on there about a pizza oven. And sure enough, for those of you that are watching the show here or are watching it on tape delay when you get around to watching it, my son-in-law does have a pizza oven over here. So there's the pool area there. That's where the ladies sit, but it's too cold for that. And no, the Junkyard Babe is not with me. You can see how crystal clear the pool is there. So I'm giving you a little bit of a view of that. There's the hot tub portion of it and the basketball hoop. And there is the little patio area over there, a little covered patio area over there. And around that corner is they got a 25-foot Contender back bay boat with a 300-horsepower Mercury on it, which I'll be on next Saturday before I head back. But in his little kitchen area here, there's a pizza oven. So there you go, just like on the TV. They got the pizza oven there. They got the nice teak roof here in the covered patio area that I'm in. There's the TV that is in front of me. It's one of 2 TVs that are out here on the patio. And when we're down here and the weather is warmer, often we'll hang out in the pool and watch that TV, and we can watch the game while we're in there. And that goes into the house, obviously, over there. And there you go. So it kind of gives you the full sense, the full panoramic sense of where we are. You can see all the beautiful palm trees and everything. And the sky is cobalt blue. And if you didn't know, but if I told you it was 75 degrees and on a lovely Florida breeze, you would think that that's the way it is. The reality is, when you look at me, you see that I am wearing one of my patented hoodies. This one here is Summit Capital Group hoodie, one of my son's companies. And so I'm wearing my Summit Capital hoodie because it is 59 degrees and breezy out.
I want that pizza oven, by the way.
That's the way to the pizza oven is so cool.
I need something like that.
It's so cool. And he says next Saturday when I get back from Okeechobee, he's going to make steak in there. He says he makes steak in the pizza oven, and it crisps the outside of the steak.
That's cool.
So it gives you like a charred out. He has some sort of a cast iron thing that he puts the steaks on, sticks them in that pizza oven, and then they come out, and they'll be pink on the inside and crispy on the outside of the steak. So that's what he says anyway. So we'll see when how all of that works out. But we're going to go next Saturday. It's supposed to get up into the 70s. Lord willing, that'll be good. So we're going to grab my parents, and we're going to take the Contender out, and we're going to go to Pine Island Sound for lunch. We're going to wait till it gets a little bit warmer, and then we're going to get out there, and we're going to go to Pine Island Sound and have lunch up there. So, and then I'm going to head back because, I missed the Junkyard Babe, and I got to get back there. Problem is, she's in Madison. I'm going to get back. I don't know if she's going to be home or not when I get back, because she is watching 3 of our grandkids. Because as I told you last week, my daughter, who's the performer, the singer, she now is in she's actually in London right now. She's in the air probably right now between London and South Africa, where she's doing 4 or 5 shows in South Africa. And my son-in-law stayed behind, but he has some work responsibilities, so he's taking care of that. And so my wife is taking care of the kids instead of being down here with me, which I wish she was. All right. I'll get to the phones in just a moment, but I want to finish my thought, what I was saying about Lamar Jackson. Here's the problem they've got with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson does spectacular things, and Lamar Jackson has spectacular statistics at times. Lamar Jackson, by the way, in our deal last week with the, who will have the most combined yards of any of the quarterbacks in the playoffs left, the first 2 people picked Lamar Jackson and nobody else picked Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was the one that ended up with the most yards. But he also gets sacked at critical times, doesn't have pocket awareness. He had the strip sack fumble. He had the interception he throws in the end zone. Football is made up of moments in time. And it's as negative as it sounds, football is won by the team that makes the least number of mistakes. Lamar Jackson makes mistakes. And the problem for Lamar Jackson is and for Baltimore Ravens is this it? Is this what you got? Do you have a guy that's going to win the MVP every 3 years? And soon the legs will go. Okay? Soon the legs will go. But are you going to have a guy that will win the MVP every 3 years and will make critical mistakes at critical times? There's a leadership issue to it. And the team can say, we love our guy and he's our guy and everything else. Oh, okay. But there's the intangibles that a quarterback brings to the table. Brock Purdy brings this intangible to the table. Brock Purdy's 3 runs, when he took off, And Wolverine Dan is texting me, and he's saying, how come they don't have a spy? I go, you don't spy.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. You don't put a spy out there for Brock Purdy.
I don't know what that was.
You know?
He averaged like 9 yards a carry, too, when he needed to run. But
when he needed it, and he didn't go. You noticed that he didn't go sliding or anything, and the team appreciates that. He was like going forward and get down inside the 10-yard line or the 5-yard line to set them up for a touchdown. There's a leadership quality there about that guy.
There was,
Mahomes has it. Other guys have had it. I don't know that Lamar Jackson has that.
There was a couple of times where I agree with you on the Lamar Jackson thing because, like, if the legs go and it's like if he needs to rely on the passing, it's like he's been questioned on that before. They even said it in the game where he was, like, kind of hesitating to run. Like, in the game before, he was running no problem. He made it look like it was nothing. He would take it and just take off, and he would put his shoulder down and try to run somebody over in the game before. In this game, it was like he was hesitant, and he didn't play free like he did last game. But
he carries for 54 yards in the game, led them in rushing.
Yeah.
Now here is a team that is that led the NFL in rushing. Okay. Now this goes to offensively and the play calling and everything else. They led the league in rushing. Okay. This was a one-score game throughout, right? The Chiefs took the lead 7-0. Ravens came back 7-7, 14-7. Then it was 17-7, 17-10. So basically this is a tight game, right? This isn't somebody's like way behind game, right? This is a tight game. Lamar Jackson ran the ball 8 times, all of them on scrambles. Do you realize they handed the ball off 8 times?
Yeah.
8 times. They ran the ball, including Lamar's 8 scrambles. They ran the ball 16 times for 81 yards. They gave the ball to Gus Edwards 3 times. He had 20 yards. That's 6.7 per carry. They ran the ball 16 times for 81 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. Yeah. They ran the ball 16 times and threw the ball 37 times and ran it 16 times, while the Chiefs ran the ball 32 times and threw it 39 times. Much more balanced attack. There's just something wrong there.
Yeah.
And then finally, I'll say this.
Because the 49ers ran it 20 times, by the way, and came back. Like, Christian McCaffrey had 20 carries in that game.
No, yeah, Christian McCaffrey ran it 20 times.
Yeah.
And they were down, significantly throughout that game.
Yeah.
And he ran it 20 times. And it wasn't, and he's one of those guys where, it's okay if he has a few carries where they ran the ball 33 times. The 49ers ran the ball 33 times for 155 yards. In a game they trailed at one point by 17. Yeah. They ran it 33 and threw it 31. I mean, that just tells you something about the way that went. But I will just say this, too, just to finish the thought on it. As a Browns fan, I'm just going to say it couldn't have went better because if the Browns aren't going to make the Super Bowl, which they never have, if the Browns aren't going to make the Super Bowl, the last thing you want to see is the Ravens make it or the Lions make it. The Ravens you don't want to see make it because for the younger people, the Ravens are the old Browns. So that's you throw up in your mouth every time the Ravens make it to a Super Bowl because that should have been the Cleveland Browns. That's the old Cleveland Browns. The Lions, that's for the old folks, for my daddy. Brown fan does not want to see the Lions make the Super Bowl before the Browns make the Super Bowl because these two teams, I mean, they played 4 times in the 50s for the NFL championship. That's their arch rival from the old days. It was always the Browns and the Lions. Browns went to the NFL championship 7 out of 8 years in the 50s. 7 out of 8 years. 4 of the times they went, they ran into the Lions, and the Lions won 3 of those games. The Lions went to the NFL championship 4 times in the 50s. Almost half of the championships the Lions were in the 50s. And they won 3 of them, and they were all against Cleveland. So Cleveland fan grows up not liking the last thing the Browns fans want to see is the Lions to pop their Super Bowl cherry before the Browns pop their Super Bowl cherry. So it couldn't be more perfect than to be Chiefs and 49ers. Now, you know who else loves Chiefs and 49ers is LSU Lynch because he's a 49er fan and he's up now. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
How are you doing, son?
I'm just kicking it by the pool here, man. I'm good.
Yeah, you're doing a better job. Look like you got a little makeup going on since I have told you to start looking at the camera more, and apparently that you picking up a bigger audience.
I got makeup on?
WZZN, son.
I got a beard. I don't know. I don't got no. Let me see. He says I got makeup. I don't got no makeup on. What makes you think I got makeup on?
It may be the lighting, but look here.
Yeah.
Look here. I just want to say this. What everybody don't know, you down there about to go fishing.
Yeah.
How many banjo minnows that you got illegally stored in that tackle box, son?
Well, they wouldn't be illegal. I mean, there's nothing illegal about the banjo minnow, but they did not. The banjo minnow did not make the trip.
They didn't make the trip.
They didn't make the trip. I brought 2 tubs of bait and baits and boxes and things like that. And yesterday during the games, I broke out. I'm allowed to take one bag on because I'm fishing it as a co, so I can take one bag on. And so yesterday I broke down the 2 tubs that I brought that are filled with different boxes. I went through and I picked a few of these, a few of those. It's what I'm going to start with. So that's what I did.
Well, look here, I'm going to finish it with this. Thank you for everybody that is tuning in to the show. Look here, listeners, the legends. Look here, Mullet Man. Get on the TV, because what is great about watching it is we can pick on your happy ass, but we can interact. And it's been really good, and we picked up, shout out to John. Thank you for your service. Shout out to C and everything. Shout out to you,
Christy,
for coming in the other day for the first time,
Yeah.
For the first time. But look here, all I got to say is, look here, my Niners made it. I see you.
Yeah, your Niners did make it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I would be on there interacting with you guys on the YouTube
I'm
feed.
paying attention.
The only problem is that I don't want to use up more of the internet bandwidth that I'm using up right now, because that's how we're broadcasting. And so I'm a little bit reticent, Grizz. You see what I said? I said reticent.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit reticent. I'm not on an Ethernet line. I'm on Wi-Fi. Everything is on Wi-Fi. Both the video.
That's the one problem.
Yeah, both the video and the audio is on Wi-Fi. So I'm afraid that if I open up the YouTube feed, well, it would be nice.
When you need at least 3 cables when you go out of town or
I
on
have
location
I
anyway.
have the cables. The thing is, there's not any. He told me, my son-in-law told me, he says you can plug in directly to the router.
Yes.
But I don't have a long enough cable to get to the router.
Yeah.
Unless I did this from the couch in the living room, and I'm not going to do it from the
I
couch.
need somebody to give me a spool, and I can just make 2 ends, and I'll make you like a 200-foot.
I have a 100-footer.
Steve's got one somewhere.
I have a 100-footer. And but I let my son use it. One of my oldest son has the 100-footer now, and he has it over at his place.
Just ask your dad. He might have some Ethernet cable somewhere.
Oh, I bet they do.
Ask us for a spool, and I'll make some.
I'm sure I'm sure the old man's got him.
I'm sure you got a crimp tool somewhere.
There. Although they're electric, not communications.
But they probably got it laying around.
I'm sure he does. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back with a final segment and wrap it up next here from Poolside in Southwest Florida on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Each week, check out our latest zone deal online at 977ESPN.com.
I'm eating good food.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Final segment of the show is brought to you by Pond Lahaki Giordano, whose run ends tomorrow, and we appreciate their support throughout the football season. And if you've been injured at work or in a motor vehicle or slip and fall accident, it is Pond Lahaki. They will take care of you. And look, these guys are excellent attorneys, but they also are true advocates who will fight for you, and they know the ins and outs of the legal game. For personalized and dedicated legal support, reach out to Pond Lahaki at 855-774-3838. That's 855-774-3838, or go to pondlahaki.com. All right, Grizz, can I, since I'm here on a fishing assignment, Bassmaster fishing assignment,
yeah,
can I end the show on a fishing note that is of local concern?
Got
a little
about
bit?
a minute and a half, yeah.
All right, the Strike King Bassmaster College Series got underway at Lake Murray over in South Carolina, presented by Bass Pro Shops, and it was a 2-day affair. And it was won by, there was 250 teams in it, representing, I think, 60 or 70, 80 schools, because you can have multiple teams. You can have like 3 teams, from a particular school in the deal. They're 2-man teams. And it was won by Peyton Harris and Dalton Head of Montevallo. Montevallo is an outstanding fishing program. And they ended up with a 2-day total of 43 pounds and something ounces, and 43.12, almost 44, or almost 44 pounds.
Nice.
So think about that. It's a 5-fish limit each day. So 10 fish, 44 pounds. You don't have to be a math major to realize that they averaged 4.5 pounds of fish.
Not bad for a theater school.
Yeah, 4 1/3 pounds.
My aunt went
fish
there. My aunt went there. She's a drama teacher.
A team from Bryan College was second. They also have an outstanding program. Bryan College is up by Lake Chickamauga in Tennessee. And taking the Big Bass honors in the tournament was Jake Brown and Walker Brown, brothers from the University of North Alabama. They led the first round. They had 23-14 in the first round. They averaged 4 pounds, 6 ounces of fish in the first round to take the lead in the tournament, including a 7-pound, 14-ounce lunker. 7 pounds, 14 ounces is a good-sized bass. That's a real bass. That's
a video
good.
game. That's too big.
So, so the Brown boys out of UNA. So the Montevallo wins the tournament. UNA ends up with the biggest bass in the tournament. Bryant College ends up second in the tournament up there out of Tennessee. So our part of the country, I try to say this all the time, Auburn has an incredible bass fishing team as well. They have a number of guys that are in the professional ranks now that fished at Auburn. But, when you look at Montevallo and how good they are right now, how good UNA is right now, our part of the country dominates college fishing. Now, you'll have some teams from Minnesota and from the upper Midwest and things like that do some damage as well. But these schools, particularly in Alabama, Bethel started all of this. Bethel was the first one to offer scholarships for fishing, for the fishing team. You can go to Bethel on a scholarship. But Bryan College and Auburn, Montevallo, UNA, these schools dominate the college fishing scene. So there's a little fishing note. All right, that's going to do it for us. Got a really good show for you tomorrow, including a Beat the Big Dog tomorrow, since that's my getaway day. Until then, the Paul Feinbaum Show is next. I'm Tom Abraham, and this is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Specializing in simple